Hey everybody, this is Bruce Bishop for ChronicleT.com. We're back once again with In the Paint with Matt Douglas and Tim Alcorn from AM 930 WEOL. Hi guys.
Hey Bruce, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Coming up on the holiday, got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. So
figured I'd let Matt go first.
I appreciate that. I've been eating a lot of cookies lately, so you may notice I'm a little wider here on the screen.
Yeah, we had to change the lens for filming this week.
There you go.
All right, guys, so let's get going because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. And the first topic we're going over is great starts. A bunch of teams with some killer records already.
Boy, that's for sure. On the boys' side of things, we do have some great starts by several of the boys' teams in Lorain County. We'll start with Lorain because everybody thought Lorain was going to have an outstanding season coming off that Final Four appearance last year. They have not disappointed. 5-0, playing great basketball behind their now Miami of Ohio recruit Devon Grant, but Tavon Pierre-Lewis and Jordan Jackson, I mean, all the returnees from that great team last year. So Lorain is unbeaten. Clearview's unbeaten. They've been tested their last couple of ball games. Columbia gave them a great game last week. On Tuesday night, they had to rally to beat Wellington in Wellington. That snapped Wellington's 18-game home winning streak. Wow. So Clearview's off to a very, very good start. Avon is unbeaten. Here's a team that got a bit of a late start. Some of their football guys still working themselves into basketball shape, but the Avon Eagles are unbeaten. They're off to a very good start. You and I can debate Vermilion. I say they've lost one.
Sure.
Spire Academy beat them. You're saying you can't count that Spire Academy game.
You can put it in there. You can count it as a loss. But as far as OHSAA goes, with everything going on with Spire and LaMelo Ball and some of their recruits, they're not technically within the standards of the OHSAA. So you can put it as the mark, but they're having a tremendous season. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not paying much attention to that one loss.
And another team with only one loss. They just played a great game against Vermilion, Elyria Catholic. Everybody knew that was going to be a great battle. It turned out to be that way on Tuesday night. So EC off to a very good start. Nothing to hang their head about against a loss or with a loss against a one-loss team, I think, in Vermilion. But that one was as good as advertised.
It absolutely was. I mean, these are two teams that really want to run a gauntlet of a schedule. There's not much time to rest before you've got another good team right in front of you. Early on in the season, these two teams meet up. Everything that it was expected to be. Jonah File, a tremendous game, had 13 points for Vermilion. Mason Montgomery right there with 13 as well. So a good game played by Vermilion, and they came out on top and got the victory.
And Matt, on the girl side of things, records or at least starts that stand out for you?
Yeah, I mean, Elyria Catholic, I think, has been very strong. Obviously, this year they're unbeaten. They play a very good Great Lakes Conference schedule. Some other teams out there to keep an eye on are certainly Amherst. They've had a tremendous start to the season. Westlake, one of the top teams in the SWC, I believe one of the few teams that have knocked off Amherst. And Clearview, right now, Brooke Rebman, one of their big players, is down to an injury, but I think they're a team that in the future is going to be very good. They got off to an early start this season, some good basketball being played. With her injury, they've come up with a couple of losses here recently. And then Wellington's another team I think you got to keep an eye on. They've played very well, and they've got Jalen Gibbs and Alexis Lemkool, who are one of the best duos in girls basketball in the area.
By the way, we wish Brooke a very speedy
Indeed.
recovery. We understand it was a pretty major injury, but they hope to have her back. So let's hope she can get back in that Lady Clipper lineup.
Indeed.
She is a very key piece of their lineup. So I know Coach Nick Damachia hopes for a speedy recovery, and we do as well.
Indeed. And we should mention, I believe, Lorain, the Lady Titans, with just one loss on the season to a very good Cleveland Heights team. So they're playing some good basketball at this point, too.
Okay, guys, I decided the theme of this today is going to be great because we've had great games, great starts, and one other great game and a great cause was Open Door this weekend. So, or last weekend. So why don't you get us to that?
Yeah, I want to talk about that for a moment because it really was our honor and our privilege to call this game Saturday night over at Open Door between the Patriots and the Avon Eagles. Turned out to be a great ball game. I'll tell you what, Open Door is going to make some noise in Division 4. Smaller school, but they've got some talent. A great player in Trey Brooks. Obviously, Bublenik is an outstanding player as well. But Avon went over there on Saturday night and in an awesome game knocked them off 65-61. We mentioned earlier, Avon still unbeaten on the year. But what really made the night special was Open Door dedicated the night to two men who had been involved in the Open Door basketball program and had ties to the Avon community as well. Ted Wiley, former assistant coach at Open Door. His sons had played in the Open Door program, as well as Ron Thomas, a scorekeeper for Open Door. Very sadly, both of those men passed away earlier this year due to cancer. So the game on Saturday night was dedicated to those two men, memory and what they meant to both the Open Door and the Avon communities, respectively. It was very special. Patriot head coach Todd Wright addressed the crowd. It was a sellout crowd before the ball game, very emotional. So I just want to extend my tip of the cap, per se, to everybody involved, because it was a very special night. Turned out to be a great game, but really the significance of the night was what it meant to the Wiley and the Thomas families who were there. It was just a very emotional night, but very well done by everybody at Open Door.
Yeah, you hear so many times it's just a game, and in fact it is, but sometimes it gives you that platform to do a little more with it. And it sounds like they really did a great job over there at Open Door of promoting a great cause. So good to hear.
Great job, everybody. Really, really well done.
Told you, great's the theme.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So a great trip coming up for some teams here. Let's talk about what's going on with EC.
Well, how about a very special holiday for the Elyria Catholic girls basketball program? Of course, they're coming off a Final Four appearance last year. Several players back from that team that went to Columbus in March of 2018. So they're rewarded in December of 18 with a trip out west. Go west, young ladies, go west, and they will.
Yeah, they're going west. They're going south, too, where it's much warmer this time of year. Headed to Arizona for Cactus Jam. They're going to play some top teams, not in the state, but in the country here. So I'm looking forward to see how they do down there. Always fun, I think, too, for the girls to get a little bit of a different opponent. Somebody you're not used to playing against. You haven't really seen if a lot of those girls may play AAU or some of that summer league ball. It's a whole new set of obstacles for them, which can be a lot of fun.
You know, there would have been room on the plane for a radio crew. We could have gone out and done those games on WEOL, but we'll just look for the results in the Chronicle Telegram.
All right, guys. Time to roll on to our Janasco Insurance Players of the Week. Who do you guys have, and who goes first this time?
Boy, plenty of worthy candidates. I'll let you start, Matt.
All right, I'll cover the Girls Player of the Week. And I think when you take a look at the big games that were being played in the area right now, I mean, Wellington really had two big games. On Saturday, they took on Clearview. On Monday night, they played against a very good Norwalk Truckers team, and they came out victorious in both those games. And a big part of that was Alexis Lemkool. She finished with 12 points in the victory over Clearview on Saturday, a 43-20 victory over the Clippers there in that crossover Patriot Athletic Conference rivalry those two teams have. And then again on Monday night, taking on the Norwalk Truckers, she showed up big for her team, knocking down 20 points. So for that reason right there, following up a 13-point performance with a 20-point performance, I'm naming Alexis Lemkool my Janasco Insurance Player of the Week.
Boy, very deserving. On the boys' side of things, there were several candidates. Now, I have to be upfront. Probably every week I could name Devon Grant of Lorain the Janasco Insurance Player of the Week. He's just that spectacular, and his numbers early on have just been off the charts. I'm going to wait on a Devon Grant Player of the Week, though, because there's more opportunities coming. I want to recognize a young man from Clearview High School as the Janasco Player of the Week. Javon Todd had an outstanding ball game on Friday night against the Columbia Raiders. Came back on Tuesday night in a hard-fought win for Clearview when they knocked off the Wellington Dukes. Javon Todd, a real key component of the Clearview Clippers. We mentioned earlier, they're still unbeaten on the year. He had two solid games for Clearview, so I'll go with Javon Todd of Clearview. He's my Janasco Insurance Player of the Week. Several worthy candidates, but hey, when you're leading the way for an unbeaten team, I think you deserve the tip of the cap.
Yeah, he's playing a very good basketball right now. One of the more humble players you'll see out there was the Patriot Athletic Conference Co-Stripes MVP last year with Luke Howes of Fairview. And the way he dishes the ball out, I mean, he's very humble, gets the ball to the guy who can score. So very worthy of that.
Okay, guys. Well, we're getting close to wrapping things up, so let's talk about where you're going to be this weekend. Any great games?
Well, there's some great games coming up. WEOL-wise, we've got boys high school basketball on Friday night. One of the great rivalry games, Clearview and Oberlin. It goes back many, many years, all the way to the old Lakeland Conference and Lorain County Conference game at Oberlin this year. Clearview, or the first time I should say this year. So Clearview at Oberlin. But there really is some great matchups coming up throughout the course of the weekend, especially on Friday night. Avon and Olmsted Falls, they moved their game from Tuesday night to Friday night We mentioned Avon unbeaten. Oak Falls, one of the premier programs in the SWC. That has the makings of an outstanding ball game.
Absolutely. I mean, Olmsted Falls right now, their only loss is to Lakewood on Tuesday night. They took out a very good North Ridgeville team, won that one by 20. So this is one of the teams. Look, if Avon wants to be in the conversation for the SWC championship, you got to beat the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's going to be a very, very good ball game. So that is one that I would certainly circle on the calendar.
Indeed.
All right, gentlemen. We're done here. I got to do some Christmas shopping, so Tim Alcorn, take us home so I can get out of here.
All right. Well, many people to thank. Of course, behind the camera, you're hearing his voice, Bruce Bishop, B-I-S-H-O-P. Let's not forget Bruce Bishop. Doesn't he do a great job?
He does. Bruce Bishop is tremendous when he points that camera. He always makes sure to get us both in the shot as hard as we make that with all the Christmas cookies we're eating. So thank you, Bruce Bishop.
Can't leave Bruce Bishop out. Can't leave him out at all. Matt Douglas, thanks to you.
Thank you.
By the way, a special thank you, sitting in, running the audio today, John Serb. Yeah, we haven't seen John in a while. Once in a while, he jumps in the fray. So we got to thank John. Of course, the biggest thanks goes to you, the viewers. Hope you enjoyed this edition of In the Paint, brought to you by Dr. Karen Kramer and, of course, Janasco Insurance. For Matt Douglas, Tim Alcorn, have a very Merry Christmas. So long, everybody.
Hey, the Bruce Bishop appreciates that. Have a good one, boys.